Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. I am the Cosmic Raver. Today I will share a very effective exercise with you that's going to help you manifest something specific, okay? So, for example, if you want to manifest a specific text from someone, if you want to manifest a specific job, a specific amount of money, anything specific, this is the exercise for you. If, for example, you want to manifest something more general, such as, maybe you want to manifest to become a more abundant, to become a healthier and happier person, something more general, then this might not be the exercise for you. It could still be working, so please feel free to try it out. But I have personally found that it works best for specific things, okay? And this is a really simple and quick exercise, but it can be extremely fast and extremely effective. And I have done this exercise myself several times, and it works almost every time. But you have to be in the right vibration, and you have to also detach. And I will come back to that topic at the end of this video. But let's get into the exercise. What is the exercise? Well, it's really simple. What I want you to do is to grab a piece of paper and a pen. And the best thing is if you can use a physical, an actual pen and a piece of paper. If you don't have that available, you can, of course, write it down on your smartphone or on a laptop, in a computer. That is fine as well. However, I usually find that it works better when you write it down by hand. And that is because when you write it down by hand, your brain is going to process the information in a different way. So that is why. But again, if you don't have a pen and a piece of paper available, you can write it down digitally on a computer or on a smartphone. That is fine. I mean, that is better than nothing. So grab what you have available, and this is a scripting exercise. It's really simple. What you're gonna do, you're gonna write down your desire or goal or manifestation in past tense, and this is the key. You're gonna write it down in past tense. So, for example, let's take a very specific example here. Let's say, for example, that you want to manifest a specific job, a very specific job in a specific company, and you want a very specific salary, okay? So, what you're gonna do is, and I would recommend you to set an approximate time frame. So, let's say that you want to have signed the contract in, I'm just gonna make something up. Let's say, for example, July 2025. I don't know when you are watching this video. It doesn't matter, actually. This is just an example. Let's say you want to have signed the contract by the end of July in 2025. Could be any time. Then you would write something like this. Let me show you. So, for example, in July 2025, or whenever it is, this is an example, you can also be specific here and write the actual date, a very specific date. Personally, I prefer not to be too specific because you never know exactly when it's going to come to you. So I prefer to set more like an approximate time frame, such as to specify the month, but it's up to you how specific you want to be. So, for example, let's say you want to have signed the job contract in July. In July 2025, I signed the contract for the role as, and then you're gonna write the role as at the company. You're gonna just write down what it is in your particular case with the salary, and you can specify the salary here if you know that you want to have a specific job and a specific company at a specific salary. And that's it. So you don't have to write like a long story about this. It can be just one sentence or a couple of sentences. But the key here is you need to write it in past tense. I signed. Not that, in July 2025, I will sign, because that is different. So you don't want to be writing in July 2025, I will sign the job contract for so-and-so, because when you say will, using the word will indicates that it hasn't yet happened, and then you are manifesting from the point of from the lack, instead of actually stepping into the feeling of already having it. And that is the point here. You want to act as if. So when you write in past tense, it releases the resistance, because when you write in past tense, it's like a diary entry. So for example, like you would be writing a diary, and you would just an entry in a diary, and you would just reflecting back on what happened in July, and you would just be writing like, yeah, so in July 2025, I signed the job contract for this role with a salary, blah, blah, blah. You can also add another sentence after this one here, such as, and I'm so grateful that it actually happened. I'm so happy at my new job. Something like that, But again, writing it in past tense is the key, because then you're going to release resistance. If you write something like, in July 2025, I will sign a job contract. Again, just to clarify this, you are manifesting from the lack instead. You are emphasizing the lack, because when you say well, it indicates that it hasn't yet happened. So you want to be looking back. So try to write as if you are writing at some point in the future, and you're just reflecting back on what happened in July, and like, yes, in July I signed the job contract. It's already done. It's already happened. So that is the key here. Super simple exercise, and like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, you can write it down in a notepad, on a piece of paper, in your smartphone. Like I said, I would recommend you to write it down by hand, but on a smartphone can work as well. Write it down on a piece of paper, or in a notepad, or in a document. And then, this is also important, do not look back on this note all the time. I would personally not recommend you to. I know some people recommend to sort of write it on a piece of paper and place it or put it somewhere where you can see it every day to remind yourself that this actually happened. I would personally not recommend that, because when you do that, you're just gonna keep wondering, like, when is it actually coming? Is it coming now? Is it coming tomorrow? When is it coming? And then again, you are emphasizing the lack instead of the fact you already have it. So I would recommend you, and this is what's worked best for me personally, this is also why I recommend it, to not look at this note all the time. So you can put it in a drawer. Don't open your phone and look at this note all the time. It's just something that you wrote down, reflecting back on what happened in July, for example, or whenever. And then you forget about it, so to speak. So that is how you detach from the outcome. Don't look back on this note. Don't think about it. Try to forget it, quote unquote, forget it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to read the note again. You don't have to pick it up, have a look at it to remind yourself. No, it's done. It's like you're placing an order in a restaurant. You have made your order, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. The order has been placed. You're going to receive it, okay? So you can just forget about the note, what you had written down, and just wait for it to come, That's it. So, super simple exercise. If this worked for you, please comment below. I would love to hear your stories. I can tell you a quick story. This is a really quick story, but it really works. So one time, I went to Tokyo on my own, because I like to travel on my own sometimes. So I went to Tokyo on my own, and I was sitting in a bar. And since I was traveling alone, I was not with someone. So I was just looking in my phone, having a beer, just chilling, I was not in the mood to, socialize. I was just feeling like, drinking my beer and just relaxing. But I was not really being social, and the bar was quite empty. But there was a girl at the other end of the bar. I didn't know her, and she comes up to me, and she sits down next to me, and we start talking. It turns out she's a music producer, and I'm a music producer too. I make music sometimes, so we quickly connected and we became friends. And I was not acting social or anything. I was just sitting there, looking in my phone, drinking my beer, not really making an effort to be social. And this stranger, just sits down next to me, and it appears that she's almost the same age as me, and she's also a music producer. And what I had manifested was exactly that, because just a couple of days before that, I had written down in my smartphone, actually, because I didn't have a piece of paper with me. So I just wrote down like this in my smartphone. I wrote down something like this, I think. I wrote something like, in the first week of May 2019, because this was in 2019, in the first week of May 2019, I met a girl, and she's a music producer, and we became friends. That is what I wrote. And that exact thing happened, like I just told you, just a couple of days later. So it's gonna work, but like I said, you have to detach. You have to detach from the outcome and stop thinking about this so much. So forget about the note, quote unquote, forget about it. Don't look at it, put it in a drawer. That's it. Close the chapter. It's done. And if you're facing challenges when it comes to detaching from the outcome, I know this is a big issue for a lot of people, including myself. So I have a lot of videos on that topic, on how to detach, on how to stop caring, and so on. I will link those videos here in the description box below, because I think watching those videos might help you to actually detach. Because if this exercise does not work for you, 9 times out of 10 it's because you have not detached from the outcome. You are still obsessing over it. So you need to stop obsessing and start detaching. And again, if you're facing challenges, please check out my other videos on that topic, linked here below. And yeah, that's it, guys. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. I would love to hear your stories on how this exercise went for you and how you find scripting. And so please share your stories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to comment or like or subscribe to my channel if you want to. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.